coming back on her birthday. We had sex, unprotected.
It wasn't baby making sex. It was angry sex.
It's not about baby making sex. Sex is sex.
It was angry sex.
Sex is sex. Whether it's baby making, love making, hate making, sex is sex, and she's still here as a baby.
Oh, you told the other guy from the park holding hands, you're the father.
Yeah, sure.
You told him that he was the father? Are you serious?
Yes.
I thought you told me I was the dad.
I have.
So am I the father or not?
As a woman, I practiced law for over 2 decades. I have every reason to throw this case out because you have not presented any evidence here today that would suggest something was wrong with that prenatal test we've previously performed, which determined that you are the father.
Ms. Beckley steps up to the mic, dropping the bomb that Mr. Allen is the MVP in the making of little Idale Beckley. She's not just throwing shade, she's practically casting a solar eclipse, insisting that Mr. Allen has had a cameo appearance in his daughter's life exactly once, and it's high time he auditioned for the role of dad. The drama escalates, and you won't believe what's coming up next.
Ms. Beckley, you are in court today to prove Mr. Allen is the biological father of your 1-year-old daughter, Idale Beckley.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say Mr. Allen has only seen his daughter 1 time since she has been born, and you want him to take responsibility starting today.
Mr. Allen, on the defensive, isn't ready to claim the Dad of the Year mug just yet. He's got his doubts, citing a plot twist in the conception timeline and their love story that's seen more offs and ons than a light switch. Their roller coaster romance, featuring a breakup and a makeup that led to a night without a script, has him questioning the paternity credits. Strap in, because the next revelation is going to shake things up even more.
The time of conception made me have strong doubts that the child is not mine.
So where was your relationship? What was the nature of your relationship during the time when Idale was conceived?
Well, me and Ms. Beckley had separated. We were co-parenting. We were still good friends.
That's not true. On Germany's 2nd birthday, he wasn't staying with me, but he ended up coming back on her birthday. We had sex, unprotected.
It wasn't baby making sex. It was angry sex.
It's not about baby making sex. Sex is sex.
It was angry sex.
Sex is sex. Whether it's baby making, love making, hate making, sex is sex, and she's still here as a baby. It don't matter what type of sex it was unprotected.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any wilder, Ms. Beckley isn't here to play minor league. She brings out the big guns, evidence that Mr. Allen has been signing autographs as dad for their other kids, but suddenly lost his pen for Idale. She's shining a spotlight on his missing acts, especially during Idale's dramatic entrance into the world via emergency C-section, where Mr. Allen was conspicuously absent, perhaps stuck in traffic on the way to the hospital, or maybe just on another planet. But wait, there's a twist you won't see coming.
I have evidence, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it.
He signed Germany's and Xavier's birth certificate. Hers is not signed.
So the first one is for Germany, Jacqueline, and Allen. Father's name's there. Second one, Xavier, Dantes, Tyrell, Jerome, Allen. Father's name is there.
Mr. Allen spins a tale of his heroic attempts to climb the Great Wall of Beckley to get a glimpse of his possibly mini-me, Idale. According to him, Ms. Beckley is the gatekeeper, deciding when and if he gets to bond with Idale, while she rolls out the red carpet for his visits with their other kiddos. It's like trying to get backstage passes from someone who enjoys watching you squirm. But the saga is far from over, as the next moment promises even more revelations.
But not spend time with or bond with Idale.
Well, Your Honor, I have questioned Shamia about Idale. You know, I asked, could I speak to her? She say no. You know, I asked when she come, well, while us having a visitation every other week, we have swap and exchange at a police station. She don't bring Idale. She don't make Idale a factor to my life.
As if the drama couldn't get any more intense, the judge, not buying popcorn for this drama, lays down the law to Mr. Allen, pointing out that maybe his hobby of expanding the family tree isn't the best move on a shoestring budget. It's a reality check that hits harder than a cold pizza, reminding him that it's not about the number of branches on the tree, but the quality of the shade they provide. And you thought it was over? Hold tight, because the climax is about to unfold.
And that's just the truth.
I work hard for every dollar to provide for my children. If that's the case, I wouldn't have my beautiful fiance with me. She know that I work hard as a man to provide for my children.
In a twist that would have you spilling your popcorn, the DNA drama unravels like the climax of a telenovela you can't stop watching.
When it comes to 1-year-old Idale Beckley, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Allen, you are the father.
Told you. You too, fiance. Stepmama. Stop.
The courtroom drama unfolds as Barlow v. Winslow kicks off, with the judge setting the scene for what feels like a daytime TV special rather than a legal proceeding. Mr. Barlow, convinced he's stumbled into a telenovela plot, disputes the paternity of Jabril, arguing the kid's lack of resemblance to his siblings suggests the landlord might be doing more than just collecting rent. Just when you think you've seen it all, the next revelation is ready to up the ante.
Mr. Barlow, you say your 8 kids look exactly like you, but the defendant's son, Jabril, looks nothing like you. And that's because you're not his father, and you know who is. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why you doubt Jabril and who you believe his real father is?
Your Honor, I doubt these things due to the fact that during the time of Jabril's conception, I was away. You understand? And whilst I was away,
Your Honor, he was around enough for us to conceive. And
whilst I was away, I believe she was sleeping with the landlord.
You do?
Yeah.
And that's not possible, Your Honor. The landlord.
Why do you believe that? What evidence do you have? Did you hear something?
Nah, whilst I was away, I would call all the time because I got a long past of infidelity. Now, I go away.
I've never said that.
And whilst I'm away, I'm calling and stuff. She says, yo, you calling me? He here.
As if the plot couldn't get any thicker, the judge probes into why the landlord seems to have a key to more than just their apartment, unraveling a web of suspicion and nosy neighbor vibes that has everyone questioning the nature of their own landlord-tenant relationships. And believe it or not, what comes next will have you on the edge of your seat.
You call at 10 and he's there.
Yeah,
the landlord's at the house at 10 p.m.
Yeah,
And you know why, Your
bids
Honor?
and stuff.
You know why, Your Honor?
Bids.
You won't believe your ears, but in a dramatic turn of events, Ms. Winslow, teetering on the edge of despair, floats a theory straight out of a hospital drama. Jabril was switched at birth. The courtroom becomes a sea of open mouths and whispered theories. As everyone suddenly turns into amateur detectives, if you thought that was shocking, just wait until you hear what's coming next.
You say you feel like the baby doesn't look like you.
Man, he look like this dude. Only reason I can't tell you that they got the same hair color because he bald head.
My son obviously has African-American features. However, he doesn't look like me or Mr. Barlow.
So what you're saying is your son is very fair-skinned.
Like,
oh, he's a
questions
beautiful
the
little boy.
Yeah, that's...
And so you feel like when you look at him, though, you don't see any resemblance.
Nah, he ain't me.
He doesn't look like me or Mr. Barlow. So now that leads me to believe the only way that this baby is not this man's child is if he's not mine.
As the anticipation builds up like the climax of a thriller movie after what feels like an eternity or just an ad break, the judge returns wielding maternity test results like a plot twist in a season finale, confirming Ms. Winslow is Jabril's biological mom. The collective sigh of relief is almost loud enough to drown out the judge's words. Just when you think you've caught your breath, the narrative takes another dive.
You've claimed this child could have been switched at birth.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I needed to go back to my chambers. I needed to do some research. I needed to look through the results. I had to find the maternity portion of the results so that I could confirm whether or not you are in fact Jabril's mother. That the probability of maternity is 99.9999%.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I needed to hear, Your Honor.
And I can see you're truly relieved.
The tension escalates again, setting the stage for another bombshell. Just when you think it's all over, the paternity test results drop like the bass at a rave.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Barlow, you are the father.
Thank you.
So the bottom line is you are the mother and you are the father.
Miss Robinson goes Hail Mary pass, throwing a DNA test into the mix to save her relationship, banking on proving Mr. Parker's the dad to their almost 2-year-old, who's already showing a fondness for long naps and jazz music, just like him. Just when you think it can't get more intense, brace yourself for what's coming.
Ms. Robinson, you're here desperately trying to save your relationship. You've petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove to the defendant, Mr. Parker, that he is the father of your 23-month-old daughter, Tanila.
Mr. Parker, on the other hand, raises an eyebrow or two at the fatherhood claim, thanks to Miss Robinson's ninja-level secrecy about the pregnancy and the fact that he didn't get to meet their daughter until she was practically applying for college. But wait, the plot thickens even more in the next segment.
You put your wedding on hold because you're positive you are not the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Not only did Ms. Robinson hide the pregnancy, she didn't tell you about Tanila until she was 5 months old.
Amidst the tension, there's an odd sense of unity as both parties eagerly await the mailman each day, turning it into a sort of bizarre family bonding activity. Who knew that a DNA test could bring people closer, or at the very least, make them equally nervous? Brace yourselves. The plot thickens in the next scene.
Tanala really means the world to me. She's my everything. She's the reason why I get up every morning to go work and go do something in my life. I also love Miss Robinson as well, but I refuse to continue this relationship if they're just lies.
So has there been a lot of lies, Ms. Robinson?
Miss Robinson admits to lies and infidelity during the time of conception, introducing the possibility of another father, which surprises Mr. Parker and escalates the conflict. In a dramatic turn, Mr. Parker's jaw drops so low you'd think it was trying to escape the awkwardness. The room's tension could slice through a block of cheese, and somewhere in the background, a reality TV producer is taking notes for their next big hit. You won't believe what comes next.
It have been a lot of lies. He didn't know around the time that I have pregnant that I was seeing someone else. That's where the possibility come from, that Tanala might not be his.
A confrontation arises from past infidelities and the lack of communication, highlighting the complexity of their relationship and the emotional stakes involved. The air is so thick with accusations and regrets, you could cut it with a spoon. Mr. Parker, trying to keep his cool, looks like he's solving a Rubik's Cube blindfolded, utterly confused and mildly impressed with the mess. Meanwhile, Miss Robinson's revelations start to pile up like a Black Friday sale at a confession booth, and just when you think you've seen it all, the next moment will leave you speechless.
I sat there and saw you with another guy holding hands at a park.
Okay, but when you see me, why didn't you say nothing to me then?
Because why did you cheat?
When she was 5
why did you
months
cheat?
and I came to you and I told you that she might be yours, you could have got the DNA test then, but you want to wait almost 2 years to get a DNA test.
I mean, I feel like, why, where were you at during those other 5 months?
You ain't tell me that you postponed our wedding.
I mean, you should know that, though.
Despite being pregnant, Miss Robinson chooses not to inform Mr. Parker, instead involving another individual during her pregnancy, which she later regrets and finds difficult to explain. It's as if she's trying to play a game of Who's the Daddy without any of the contestants knowing they're playing. Spoiler alert, nobody wins the grand prize in this game show, and you won't believe where the story goes from here.
So when you first found out you were pregnant, did you contact Mr. Parker at all?
During my pregnancy, Your Honor, no, I have not.
You didn't?
No.
Were you with anybody else during that time?
Yes, Your Honor, I was.
Did you tell that guy you were pregnant?
When I confirmed my pregnancy, Your Honor, yes, I have told him, but I did not inform Mr. Parker that I was pregnant.
Didn't you tell Mr. Parker? I don't understand.
I was nervous, Your Honor. I was going through my pregnancy hormones. I was nervous. I didn't know how to go about coming to him. Bad news.
What bad news?
That I was sleeping around with someone else.
Oh, that you were sleeping with someone else.
Yeah.
And that still hurt me to the day.
Did you tell the other guy Mr. Parker could also be the father?
No, Your Honor.
Did you tell the other guy that he was the father?
Yes, Your Honor.
You did? Oh, you told the other guy from the park holding hands, you're the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
You told him that he was the father? Are you serious? I thought you told me I was the dad.
I have.
So am I the father or not?
A revelation occurs when Miss Robinson admits to telling both men they could be the father, leading to confusion and further questioning of her honesty and decision-making. It's like she accidentally signed up for a reality TV show called Father Mystery, where the final episode involves a dramatic paternity test reveal. Grab your popcorn, folks. This is going to be a bumpy ride, but just when you think it can't get any crazier, hold on for the next part.
You didn't tell Mr. Parker he was the father until Tanila was 5 months old.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who was at the hospital then when Tanila was born?
Not me.
Me and the other guy had came just at one time.
Crazy. I could have been there. If that's my
So
baby,
the other
I could have been
guy
there for
came
me,
to
for
the
her.
hospital.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did the other guy sign the birth certificate?
Yes, Your Honor.
What? Are you serious?
I didn't know how to tell you.
Are you serious? A birth certificate? This guy that's probably not be his child sign a birth certificate, and that could be my baby?
Yes.
The DNA test results slide out of the envelope like a slow-motion scene from a dramatic movie. Mr. Parker, standing with bated breath, his eyes wide with anticipation. The room is silent, everyone's gaze fixed on the piece of paper that holds the answer to the burning question.
Pertaining to 23-month-old Nyla, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Parker, you are not Tanila's father.
Oh my God.
Woo!
I'm sorry.
Sis.
I'm sorry.
Like
I'm sorry.
a whole year wasted, man.
The plaintiff, having previously aced the court drama that proved the defendant's 1-year-old daughter is definitely not his +1 in the family tree, now raises his eyebrows and maybe his blood pressure over the paternity of her 5-month-old son, Ace. With the skepticism of a detective in a telenovela, challenges the results of a prenatal paternity test that pegs him as the father and seeks to reopen the case for a redo. Imagine that. Courtroom deja vu. The defendant, on the other hand, is as confident as a cat with a canary, sure that the plaintiff is Ace's dad, and aims to stick that landing. Just wait. It escalates from here.
You previously appeared in court when you proved that the defendant's 1-year-old daughter was not your child. You are now here questioning the paternity of the defendant's 5-month-old son, Ace. You previously received results from a prenatal paternity test which stated you are the father. You are here petitioning the court to reopen your case and order a paternity test now that Ace is born.
In a twist that would make soap opera writers nod in approval, the discussion unveils that post-hospital drama. The defendant pulled a sneaky on the birth certificate, erasing the plaintiff's name as if it was written in pencil and scribbling Mr. Haynes' name instead. This plot twist complicates the paternity issue like a season finale cliffhanger, raising questions about the defendant's intentions and leaving the plaintiff to ponder his role in Ace's life, possibly while dramatic music plays in the background. Brace yourself. The revelations ahead are even more jaw-dropping.
I feel like
Why don't you believe it?
because if that was the case, Your Honor, when I was in the hospital when she gave birth to Ace, she had put my name on the birth certificate, removed my name off the birth certificate just to put Mr.
Reason of
Haynes'
that
name
being
on the
is
birth certificate.
I asked
So
him.
wait a minute now. She took your name off the birth certificate?
Yes.
And you put Mr. Haynes' name on
The
Ace's
same
birth
day
certificate?
after I left out of the hospital, after she had already put my name on the birth
Your
certificate.
Honor.
The plaintiff feels no connection to Ace, attributing this lack of bond to his unresolved issues with the defendant and the unsettling circumstances surrounding Ace's paternity and birth certificate. He jests that he's more emotionally attached to his fantasy football team, which, unlike Ace, has never questioned his commitment. Stay tuned, because what comes next is even more jaw-dropping.
It was before. I just feel no connection
No
at all.
connection.
So
Like a
when you
baby's
went
supposed
back
to talk
home
back.
with the baby, you just felt like you felt absolutely no connection.
Yes, Your
And
Honor.
that troubled you.
A lot.
And then the doubts you had just kept building.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what else was happening?
Me and Miss Malone, we had went our separate ways.
You did.
And yes,
Yes, Your Honor.
The episode delves into the plaintiff's alleged infidelity, which further deteriorates trust between him and the defendant. This backstory provides context for their strained relationship and the plaintiff's paternity doubts, leading the defendant to quip that she was more likely to find loyalty in a stray dog than in her relationship. The twists keep coming. Don't miss what's up next.
So she asked me, go ask your man.
Oh, really?
Yes, Your Honor. So,
She was
with
just
no
saying
questions, I
somebody
packed
that
his
I could
clothes,
talk
threw
to.
him down the stairs. He wakes up, asks me what I'm doing. I told him he was cheating.
And did he admit to it?
He denied it, like he is now.
Because I was not cheating at all.
Mason, you here saying you don't trust the results.
Despite having no new evidence to challenge the prenatal test accuracy, the judge decides to further educate the plaintiff on the testing process to eliminate any doubts, demonstrating the court's commitment to resolving paternity issues comprehensively. The judge humorously suggests that maybe they should also include a crash course in basic empathy and relationship skills, given the circus this courtroom has turned into. You won't believe what's in store. The next segment is a game changer.
As a woman, I practiced law for over 2 decades. I have every reason to throw this case out because you have not presented any evidence here today that would suggest something was wrong with that prenatal test we've previously performed, which determined that you were the father. I should throw it out. I do understand how you can't trust the result. I don't want you to leave this courtroom with any lingering doubt.
In a plot twist worthy of a daytime soap opera, the latest paternity test results are in, and lo and behold,
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Mason, you are the father. Again.
So, you need to just start taking care of your son.
And I'm
Start
going
bonding
the
with your
same-
son.
The same way I do with the other two.
To that.
That means my name
And
got
I
to
hold
go
you
on
to
that
that.
birth certificate and his name's coming off.